You press print, nothing happens. You try again, still nothing. Then suddenly it prints, but not what you wanted. This isn't a technology problem. Printer companies pull over 70% margins on ink alone. Printers didn't fail to get better. They were designed not to. And to understand why everyone still hates them, you have to go back to a time when printers actually worked. In the early days, printing wasn't a gamble, it was a promise. You hit print, and the machine responded with a steady mechanical rhythm. No software glitches, no cryptic errors, just the sound of hammers and wheels doing their job. The Epson MX80, launched in 1980, was the office workhorse. With a mean time between failures of 12,000 hours, it could outlast the computers feeding it. Its secret was pure mechanical logic: spring-loaded pins, a sealed ribbon path, and modular parts that could be swapped out with a screwdriver and a steady hand. Field technicians knew these machines like old friends. A retired IBM technician in 1991 said that when a line printer stopped, the first thing he did was listen. A soft thud meant a hammer coil was dead. A high-pitched squeal meant the chain was loose. You could fix most problems with a screwdriver and a spare hammer bank. Maintenance wasn't a mystery. Ribbons were replaced every couple of weeks, platens cleaned with a cloth, and bearings got a drop of oil every quarter. If something broke, you opened a panel, found the culprit, and got back to work. Daisy wheel printers brought the same predictability. Each character was a solid metal petal, spun into place and struck by a hammer. If a letter faded, swap the wheel. If a spring wore out, pop in a new one. The entire cycle, rotate, index, strike, return, was visible, audible, and fixable. Offices trusted these machines because they were built for service, not secrecy. But that's not where things went wrong. The real trouble started when printers stopped being machines you could trust. They became black boxes you couldn't open. In 1990, the HP DeskJet 500 arrived. Suddenly, printing was not just for offices and techies. It was quiet, compact, and fit right next to your home computer. No more ribbons, no more clattering hammers, just a gentle whir and color on the page. The promise was simple: better quality, less mess, and no need for a technician with a toolkit. Laser printers followed close behind. HP's LaserJet packed an entire copy shop into a beige box. Inside though, something else was happening. A quiet revolution that would change everything about how we print. The new machines hid their magic. Inkjet cartridges were sealed tight. No more spools to rewind or ribbons to stretch. The printhead became a delicate, factory-calibrated part. The toner in a LaserJet came in a single, sealed cartridge that handled the drum, powder, and waste, all in one click. Repairs? Forget it. If something jammed or dried out, you swapped the whole unit. The idea sounded like pure progress. Less downtime, fewer moving parts, and a cleaner desk. But here is the part no one talks about. That sealed cartridge was not just about convenience. It locked out the user and locked in the manufacturer. The DeskJet 500's cartridge had to be replaced, not refilled. The LaserJet's toner was built to resist tinkering. Every new model closed another door. The black box got smaller, but the control got tighter. On the surface, printing felt easier than ever. Underneath, the era of open, fixable machines was fading fast, and this subtle shift set the stage for the real power move, turning every printed page into a recurring sale. September 13th, 2016, HP sends out a quiet firmware update. Overnight, thousands of printers across the world start flashing a new warning. Cartridge problem. Non-HP cartridge detected. The print job halts. No workaround. No override. Just a dead stop unless you swap in an official HP cartridge. This wasn't a glitch. It was a deliberate move. Inside each cartridge, a tiny authentication chip now decided who got to print and who didn't. If the chip didn't match HP's secret code, the printer locked up, no matter how much ink was left. Third-party cartridges, some half the price of HP's, were suddenly useless. The backlash was instant. Forums exploded with angry posts. Small businesses found themselves stuck with shelves of ink they couldn't use. In the Netherlands, a consumer rights group filed a lawsuit. The Electronic Frontier Foundation called it malware in your printer. HP tried to spin the story as a security update, but internal memos told a different story. The goal was to increase lifetime value per device by shutting out competitors. And this is where everything changed. Printers crossed the line. They became tools you owned that were turned into platforms you rented. Control shifted from your desk to the manufacturer's server. The chip wasn't about better print quality, it was about power. But here's the part no one talks about. This was just the opening shot. Soon every big brand followed. Chip-locked cartridges, firmware roadblocks, and error screens became the new normal. The promise of effortless printing was replaced by a system built for profit, not for people, and the frustration was only getting started. A small business manager unlocks the office at 8 a.m., coffee in hand, ready to print payroll. The printer blinks, stubbornly silent. The screen reads offline. The wireless network is fine. The laptop is fine. The printer is missing in action. She restarts the router, the printer, and her patience. Nothing works. The driver vanished after last night's system update. Now she is downloading a 500 megabyte installer again, while the clock ticks toward payday. But that is not where things went wrong. The installer stalls, demanding a proprietary app. It needs her email, a cloud account, and a password she barely remembers. She jumps through every hoop just to print a single page. The machine finally appears, but only after she agrees to new terms and conditions. The print job hits the queue, yet the printer wants more, asks her to log into the app, connect to the manufacturer's cloud, and verify her identity just to print the same spreadsheet she has printed every week for years. Meanwhile, the staff lines up, waiting for their checks. The error message flashes that the printer cannot connect to the server and to try again later. She is locked out by a server on another continent. No ink warning, no paper jam, just a wall of software. This is not a rare glitch. Over half of home and office printers now require a cloud sign-in. Wireless setup fails so often that tech forums are flooded with posts about ghost printers and devices that disappear after every update. The promise of convenience has turned into a maze of passwords, broken connections, and forced upgrades. Printing is not just slow, it is unpredictable, fragile, and exhausting. And here is the part no one talks about. None of this is an accident. The pain is not a bug, it is a feature. Coffee pods, razor blades, App Store subscriptions. Printers joined the club a long time ago. The real money isn't in the machine, it's in the refills. By 2010, printer companies were making less than 4% profit on hardware. But every time you bought a cartridge, that was pure gold. Consumable margins soared above 70%. Some years they hit 90%. The printer itself was bait, the ink was the hook. But here is the part no one talks about. IDC data shows a steady decline in pages per person, down from nearly 600 pages a year in 2014 to under 500 by 2022. Fewer pages means fewer chances to sell ink, so companies doubled down. They squeezed more out of every remaining customer. Locked cartridges, subscription plans, firmware that blocks refills. Research and development budgets shifted away from making printers better. Instead, the money went into cloud platforms, authentication chips, and subscription dashboards. Less than 10% of development now goes to mechanical improvements. The rest? All about control and the flow of cash. It's not just printers. Coffee makers sell pods for 5 times the price of ground beans. Game consoles push monthly passes. The pattern is everywhere. Make the hardware cheap, then turn every use into a sale. The result? Devices that are just good enough and never better. Because fixing the experience would break the business model. And that is the real reason printers never improved. The pain pays, and as long as it does, the cycle repeats. Printers aren't broken, they are exactly as controlled as the system demands. Every jam, every locked cartridge is a symptom of profit overruling progress. Today, the same logic spreads across tech. The real question is, how much convenience are we willing to trade for control? Drop your thoughts below, let's talk.